It is currently July 4th. I'm waiting for my wife to get back from her pottery class so that we can go to my parents' home and launch fireworks in their backyard. And instead of doing nothing with my time, I decided I would do the most productive possible thing I could conceive of. And we all know what that is. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to reconnect, to ground ourselves, to touch grass, and play some Minecraft. I'm going to show you guys my hardcore world. I have recently discovered you can use a cocktail smoker to smoke your espresso in your lattes. Mind the thing, my wife repurposes cans. Glass. This used to have veggie kraut in it. We've washed it since. Try it. You can use a cocktail smoker. I do maple syrup and just a little bit of maple syrup, not a lot. Whole milk. But I smoke the espresso before I put the milk in there. Smoke it with apple wood. It's delicious. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a tour. This is Trey Cockrum Minecraft. Alright, so it's just a weird little freaking hut, okay? It's nothing crazy. I just built it just to have some form of shelter. I've actually never played hardcore Minecraft, ever. For those of you who are noobs, who have never even touched a grass block in Minecraft. Oh my god. Hardcore means if you die, you lose the world. So you gotta be more careful. But I have iron armor. I've got some diamond tools here. I've got some diamonds left over. I have a nether portal. And so I've been trying to find another, what's it called? A nether fortress or whatever it's called, where you get the blaze rods. But I'm having trouble finding them. Been in there a couple times. There's another nether portal up here, and both have so far not proven to give me what I'm looking for. So, I figured I would take this time to explore the nether a bit and give you guys an update on how things have been going business-wise and personal life-wise, as kind of a friendly nod back to when I used to have a Minecraft channel. Oh boy. What's so funny about that is I have 3 brothers, for those of you who don't know. Which is probably most of you because I don't talk about it that much. I'm gonna turn my computer down, it's so loud. And they like to pull up my old Minecraft YouTube channel at family gatherings. And then show it to my family. And I have to just kind of sit there and take it because it is horrendously embarrassing. But here I am, 25 with a child, planning my second child. And I'm not done. Okay. And what's so funny about this is my clients watch these videos. I have clients who pay me a lot of money. And they're like, dude, I love your Minecraft videos. Which is the best part of it. So, you can see that I've explored, I have not explored this bastion yet. I'm pretty sure that's what's called, bastion. But, I have not explored that, and, because I don't have the tools for it, and I'm afraid I'm gonna die, to be so real with you. I mean, I just really feel like I'm gonna die if I do that. So I haven't done it yet. But, I mean, you can see I've got this, like this thing, this freaking, you know, bridge that goes across the nether. And still haven't found a, I'm pretty sure it's called a nether fortress. Which is really frustrating, and I've played this world now for a bit, and I'm kind of just, like, stuck here. So if anybody has any advice, maybe you could place that advice in the comment section. Spam Spam nice Minecraft world, Trey, in the comments for me. Thanks, everybody. I know. It's incredible. Truly immaculate. Shoot. So I figured I would make an excuse, make some content. Oh, shoot, dude. Bro, are you kidding me? That's okay, I wasn't that attached to it anyway. I wasn't even trying that hard. It spent probably 3 hours, maybe, on this world max. That's okay, though. Well. I guess I will start a new world. How long have I been filming? 6 minutes. Okay. Well, I will show you my wife and I's world. I think I've already done this, but I will tool around in it. I have significantly more emotional attachment to this world for obvious reasons, as my wife and I are very involved. We're very serious at this stage in our relationship. And, you know, when you have a Minecraft world with somebody you're that in love with, you know, you build a lot of sentimental value. I think I've already shown you guys this before. I have changed some things, so maybe I did, maybe I didn't in the last video that I made here. Show you guys this bridge. My wife made this bridge, and I think it's really cute. It took her literally like 3 real-life days to make this thing. We played probably for an hour and a half an evening there for a minute. And, yeah, it took her a while. But she made this thing, and the pegs, whatever, go all the way down to the ground. The legs go all the way down. And she did this thing where, I think it's really smart, where it looks like it's like, you know, being eaten away by the water. So it looks like rusted down there. I just think that's really cool. And she's got moss on it as well, towards the bottom. I just think it's really cool. What I was going to do was I'm going to take this other island over here that the bridge connects to and kind of make it like a farm, because our other farm, do I have my elytra on me? No. Our other farm is over here, and I mean, it's cute, but it's also just like, it's just so functional. It doesn't look nice. I like things that are functional and look nice, and this is pure function and 0 charisma. I mean, this is just appalling, truly. So I'm gonna move them over here, because in my honest assessment of things, truly and so sincerely, I just feel like at some point it is animal abuse. Okay, and as much as I, you know, just need food, I do respect God's creation, and so I'm gonna move them over here and kind of flatten this out. Whoop, hello. Okay, kind of flatten this out. And you can kind of see like the vision, just kind of like flatten this thing way out, just flatten it way out, and then kind of create stalls for them, right? Oh, I've never noticed that boat over there. I'm gonna go explore this boat. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for that. Nothing crazy, nothing horribly fancy, but I just feel a little bad at, you know, just how much suffering I've caused in the lives of these animals. They didn't ask for it, and I figure if we're gonna eat food, you know, we're gonna do proper. You know, if I'm gonna have my trad wife, okay, in my trad house with a trad cottage house, then I'm going to, you know, take care of my animals. Okay, I'm gonna tap into my feminine energy and not be so brutal and just leave my animals up to starve. I got a dolphin. That means I'm going really fast. Right. So things are going great in the business. Pacing could be a multi-6-figure month this month so far. End of the month, we're pacing that pretty strong, which is great. Here we go. And that's amazing. That's a great feeling across the 2 businesses, across Kingdom Closer Academy and my coach's business. should very well be a solid multi-six-figure month. Might not be. I don't really know. I'm genuinely, one of my clients, he was like, hey man, do you like plan in quarters, or what do you do? Do you like plan in quarters? Do you plan kind of like month to month? And I'm like, dude, if I were taking things more seriously right now, I'd be planning in quarters. But I'm kind of just having fun. Working on stuff that's exciting to me, solving problems I enjoy solving, and just doing what I want to do. Kind of like, you know, just not taking it so seriously. So I think if I were taking things more seriously and I was more buckled down, I'm pretty sure I could be doing a lot better right now. And I know a lot of people, you know, their whole life is all about business 24/7, and mine just isn't, dude. So I just don't care. Like, I'm like not trying to have a life where all I'm thinking about all the time is how much revenue we're doing that month. Like, to me, things that you take care of grow, and generally, when you're in a state where you appreciate them, you take care of them. Like, I don't wanna grow things out of principle. Does that make sense? Like, I don't wanna be like, oh, I should. Like, I don't know. Call me selfish. Call me naive even. But I want to grow things because I want to grow them, and I want to do it. You know, like, I don't care necessarily how much money I made that month. I want to grow things that I like growing, and I end up making a bunch of money because I like doing these things. Like with Kingdom Closer Academy, I like building funnels, I like sales, I like marketing, I like advertising. We've got an Instagram page right now that we're booking like 2 to 5 appointments a day. Like, spending like probably $20-$30 per appointment to sell our offer. It's a $6,800 offer. We've been kind of discounting it to like $5,000 for some people. Brought in an individual yesterday. I made that video like how we're getting a 6x return on cash, or 8x return on cash on the VSL. That's dropped to about 6, but still 6 on cold traffic to a VSL is phenomenal. So we got that, and then pairing it with Instagram, it's gonna do very, very well. And then here in my coach's business, just occasionally a client drips through. And at one point it was more like 2 or 3 a month at the 25K rate, and then I do a couple discounted things at like a 10K thing. So it was like a 6-figure a month business. Right now, I'm so focused on Kingdom Closer Academy, just getting it off the ground, that this business will probably do, gosh, I don't know, 30 to 60 grand a month, but it's like 100% profit, and I'm keeping all of it, which is amazing. And that's a great place to be. I mean, it's extremely fruitful, and I'm very, very blessed by that. What was I doing? I was going to sort my inventory. So that's kind of an update on that, and then my wife and I are doing great. I've gained a little bit of weight recently, which is by design. I want to. I'm trying to put on some pounds. And there for about a week and a half, I was just eating anything and everything. And I mean, I gained a crazy amount of weight. And after this video, I was going to make a protein shake as well. And I'm just trying to keep that going. But what happened was my gut kind of hit this point where it just could not keep up. Like, I found myself experiencing, I apologize if this is TMI, but I found myself experiencing some indigestion almost, just kind of like, you know, my gut was just like crying for a break. I mean, I was eating so much food. And I gained a good amount of weight. I mean, I gained, dude, in about 2.5 weeks, the scale, I don't know if the weight held and stayed, but I mean, I put on like 4 or 5 pounds. I mean, it was a crazy little push there. And I've lost like a pound or 2 off the back of it, but I think it's just because literally, like, my body physically had stuff in its gut. And it was really bad. I was backed up. Let's see. So that's that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just cook this then. Let's see here. I probably actually need to make more chests. I feel like I'm getting kind of capped. I feel like I could probably... There we go. I think I could probably make another room down here. I have this. This is our junk chest, and my wife is in charge of organizing it. So I'm gonna toss some stuff in here, and she actually likes doing that. So make another junk chest here as well. Keep the arrows on me. Keep that on me. Bum, 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 bum. All right. I'm also going to go ahead and grab my thingy. There we go. So yeah, that's kind of how things have been going. It's honestly been a really fruitful season. It's been wonderful. We've been really enjoying things. I had a lot of funds held up in Stripe. A lot of people have had that issue recently. You know, the coaching industry, info, it started to have a lot of issues with that very quickly. And we had a couple of disputes, you know, in the past. A couple of clients that just really weren't happy or weren't vocal about not being happy. And instead of contacting us, they just went ahead and treated us like their personal bank and called their bank and said we took their money without their request, which isn't true. But these banks love siding with their consumers, so we hardly win any of them, unfortunately. And so Stripe started holding some money about a year ago, and it started. I mean, it was holding 25% of our sales. And then I was like, I'm just gonna stop using Stripe. This is ridiculous. So I had a lot of cash. Like, it got to a point where I almost had as much cash held up in Stripe as I had liquid in the bank. And that released last month, which is amazing. And so I have a huge chunk of cash, which is amazing. It's a great feeling. And so that's very nice. And so I've just kind of been sitting on that, deciding like what I want to do next. And I mean, really, I just want to grow KCA and I want to grow my coaches business, because to me, like, that's the coolest thing I could be doing right now. You know, like, the clients I get with the coaches thing are just so easy and so fun. And it feels like it hardly feels like work. It's just so fun. And they get amazing results. And then KCA, you know, what's cool about that is, as you guys know, probably if you followed me very closely, I don't do any of the client work over there. So I've got a head of client success who, we're on a 30-70 profit split. I keep 70. And that's after ad spend, team costs, etc. And he helps these guys find their role, their sales role. He helps them, he coaches them, and basically is like total assurance that like these clients are going to succeed. And we can take, he can probably take on, you know, 25 to 50 clients a month. You know, I mean, he's a very coordinated guy. He can totally coordinate that group like no problem. And so what's cool about that is, I mean, I'm literally just doing marketing and sales stuff. I don't even have to worry about clients. And marketing and sales, if you're good at it, as you know, is probably the least time sucker of in a business. Once you get figured out, I mean, to get it figured out takes a lot of time and energy and focus and money and whatever. But once it's figured out, it's kind of just a system and a machine. And so really, that business, I would like KCA, Kingdom Closer Academy, to net cash flow me, you know, 100 to 200 grand a month. And I don't even know what I'd do with the money. I really just want to do it just to achieve it, you know. And then I'd like my coaches business to, I don't care how many clients it brings in so much as I care the quality of clients. I just want to do work that I'm really proud of there and just generate amazing results. Because I feel like the long-term play is going to stay this industry. And I really want to add more value to this industry. But at the moment, you know, just like a little cap. Like, I've got my kid, I'm doing this other business and everything. So that's where the one-on-one clients is where I can add the most value, because I can really take a lot of time and really get my hands dirty and dig into somebody's business and like figure out, you know, the real bottlenecks and even like the mental issues, like the mental handicaps that an owner of the business is placing on themselves, and like have very deep discussions about belief systems and stuff like that, which is just an amazing thing to get to do. And I love that kind of work, and that's where I think I'm best, is in really identifying the thoughts that have created certain habits and actions and patterns for business owners that keep them in certain cycles. And so if I can bring on, you know, on a slow month like 1 or 2, if I can bring in, you know, 30 to 50 grand, and then on a good month when I'm really focused on it, which is usually what that means is running some ads, you know, really more actively like trying to sell it and not just sit here and like attract clients. Like, I'm like willing to talk to anybody and kind of convince them to do it, as opposed to just being like, yeah, if you're interested, message me. And then people, like, right now, I'm like, yeah, if you want it, like, message me on Instagram, we'll talk about it, and if it's a fit, we'll do it. And it's 25 grand, and we can split it up, but ideally just pay it outright, because I can really give it my focus, you know. And I get a handful of people who are ready to do that, which is amazing. Like, it's such a blessed place to be. But, you know, the goal is that, like, YouTube grows a little bit, and maybe that goes well. But, like, what's so funny, guys, is I'm just so cool, like, making not that much money. Like, I do this for fun. Like, that's what you have to understand is I'm not trying to do something because I feel like I'm supposed to. Like, I feel like there for a while, I had this energy of like, oh, I'm a dad now, I'm a husband now, I gotta like buckle down, I gotta grow. And like, it kind of held me back from really doing the stuff that I really enjoy. And there really is some real truth to like, if you don't enjoy it, like, don't do it. You know, and you can say, oh, I enjoy it because I like the money. But like, that's not actually enjoying it, because the money kind of comes and goes. I mean, not really, like, you know, obviously I've invested a lot of it, and I've got like real wealth and everything. But I mean to say, if you just like the money component, then that's not like a good, steady, stable thing. Like, I've actually got an e-commerce business that I'm working on. I've never properly done an e-commerce business. It's coming together, and I won't share the details, because genuinely I think we have like product market fit here that has multi-7-figure potential and extremely high margins and everything. And so working with some people to get that launched, and it's just like fun. Like, I like the niche that it's in. The types of customers that we're going to attract are types of people that I feel like I'd get along with and enjoy. The marketing behind it would be really fun to do. So it's like all fun. So you get to a point as an entrepreneur where you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of like, you get really good at recognizing like ikigai. You know that concept of ikigai. And it's like the Japanese concept of things that the world needs and that they'd pay for that overlap with things that you enjoy and are naturally good at. And I think a part of your job as you grow as an entrepreneur is just to steadily more and more recognize those opportunities, you know, where they lie and what role you're going to play in the structuring of the organizations you're developing, right? Like, for me, you know, KCA, people get the sense that I'm like working super hard to get this thing. Dude, I'm literally giving it part-time hours, hardly trying. Okay, and it's like, okay, now that it's kind of figured out, if I wanted to take it a little more serious, this could easily be a multi-7-figure business, maybe an 8-figure business, but I don't have a lot of interest in doing that because, just quite frankly, I don't want the complexity of that. You know, I don't want to have to run a big team. And you get so big that you need to be keeping people who aren't that vested in the business. If you have a team of like 6 or less, everybody's like so mission driven, and you're all making a bunch of money, and that's what I love. I love small teams and a ton of money. That's what I like. You know, I don't like building big teams that, you know, because once you have a degree of separation from the founder, the owner, you start to have to, like, in my experience, and this maybe could be a flaw in my thinking, but so far I've experienced that you have to like work really hard to keep people like vested in it and really caring about it. And it's like, you can kind of tell they're just there for the paycheck, and like that just pulls everything down. And so you have to be an absolute machine. I mean, and I don't know, maybe I could be that at some point. I could see myself maybe leveling up. I think the opportunity has to be that. And I don't know that I have any opportunities where it's going to really attract like amazing people who are to like really build, and like to the degree of like 30 or 40 people that are all equally as mission driven as the founder. Like, you really kind of have to have that to do a 10 or 20 million a year business. You got to have a team of 30 or 40 people that all equally are as mission driven and loyal to the mission as the founder, or at least 80% as. And that's tough to pull off. I mean, that is genuinely tough to pull off, and a very small few amount of people could really do that. And I could see myself maybe taking a shot at that at some point, but I think I just want to stack more cash for a while so that I'm not hedging my bets on an 8-figure play. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to be sitting on, and I'm already almost there, but I'd like to be further and closer to that, where I have enough investments where I'm not really that worried. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need anything to work, you know? And then at that point, I think I want to try that. So I think that's maybe, I have this idea in my head of like, that's what my 30s are for. Is like, okay, I'm gonna actually really take shots at like a big thing. And here in my 20s, I'm 25. I'd like to spend the rest of my 20s doing businesses I love, like super cash flow businesses, and just ones that I really enjoy, working with clients that I like, pretty low key, you know, having some of the kids that we're gonna have, you know, maybe 3 or 4 more kids. And then maybe sometime when I'm like 32 to 35, really start taking those shots, you know, and see if I can find like an opportunity or a market need that, you know, I could rally a good team around, like to the point where it's easy to really get behind. You know what I mean? Like, even this e-commerce idea that I have, like, it's not like it's just a cutesy little product. You know, it's not like a game changing thing. It's gonna be hard to find people who are like, oh my gosh, this is like the world needs this. It's, you know, it's more like people would just, you know, they just buy it. Like it's kind of like an impulse buy. Oh, this is cool. I'd like to do this kind of a thing. And so, you know, that's where I'm at. So I feel like I'm at a stage right now where if I'm doing 50 grand a month to 300 grand a month, I know that's a big range, but you got to understand, like, I mean, things are very seasonal, and I have months where I hardly do anything. Like, I'm just being so raw with you. I have months where I literally probably work an hour a day. I'm just like, I'm not creatively inspired right now. I don't feel like there's any value I can add to people. I'm not gonna make content and show up and do stuff when I feel like I've got nothing to add. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling like forcing things that just aren't supposed to be. Like, you know, I'm a very creative type person. I'm a creative type personality, and I've kind of taught myself the engineer mindset, right? Like through mentors like Sam Ovens and other business mentors and stuff like that. Like I've really learned how to have the engineer mindset. But I've always been a very creative type person. And creative people, if we're uninspired, man, we're clocked out. Like, you know, if you've ever like, you know, they're really easy to like meme on. Like the really like baristas at coffee shops that are just take themselves way too seriously. I'm kind of that a little bit. Like I'm kind of that guy. Like I'm like, you know, you're ordering that latte again? Okay, whatever. You know, like I'm a little bit that sometimes. Not always, but a little bit. And so I don't like working on things unless they light me up. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if there's a lot of money involved, to be so honest with you. I want to work on things that are, like, cool, you know? And so I've had opportunities to do things. I'm like, that would make me a lot of money, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I really love it. And maybe a lot of the time it's just because I don't appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean? There's opportunities, like, for example, I've got a good friend of mine who, if I said his name, everybody watching this video would know who he is. Everybody. And I was helping him think through a couple years ago. He's now made some sizable investments, bought some companies, and whatever. And some people probably know who I'm talking about. And at one point, I was helping him think through, you know, his next move. And I was like, dude, like, and he was like, I want to get into private equity and start buying businesses. I'm like, well, I mean, do you feel like you like that? Do you like the idea of buying a company and then like kind of doing something new with it and putting it in a new vertical and everything? And he was like, I was like, if there's like no money involved, do you feel like you would just like the engineering challenge of doing that? And they were like, oh yeah. And I'm like, cool. Like that's like the sign that you need, you know, like just put yourself in those shoes, like visualize it for a sec. Do you feel like that's something that you would do even if it didn't pay you for a couple years? Because it probably won't, you know? And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, all right, dude, like, cool. Like, that's totally the move. So now he's been deploying his assets into acquiring different businesses and becoming part owner, even majority owner in a lot of businesses and stuff. And it's all in the same industry. So he has a lot of knowledge on, you know, how to grow them and everything. So I think that's really cool. And I could see it being something that I do. Like, I could see myself getting into private equity and primarily working with, you know, online marketing based businesses, you know, businesses that require, you know, direct response or, you know, things that are like content driven, etc. Like I like that stuff quite a bit. So how long have I been filming here? Wow, almost 30 minutes. Dang. All right. I'm gonna call it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was worth 30 minutes of your time. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, just let me know what you think of these videos in the comments. You guys always seem to like them, and I get messages from people being like, oh, this is so fun. So I like doing these. All right, see you guys.